I'm going to be putting in things. Yo, what's up you guys? Jazaya here. I'm bringing you guys another video. Today I basically paid and got all the information I needed for building for things like tax write-offs and keeping account of those kinds of things going forward. So basically today I'm just going to be talking about it. So this won't be a yap session. This is actually about something in specific, but basically I'm going to just go through what I'm going to be doing here on my screen. I think at some point I would love to figure, this is going to be a while before I do this, but I'm going to have to set it up so that you guys can actually get a view of me setting things up to set my Excel spreadsheet up and stuff like that in the future. And just to give I'll remake this video later on when I have the content set up for it. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So to start, I'm going to do Excel. You can do whatever tracking site, whatever tracking sheet you would like to, but just make sure you have a tracking sheet where you can track your information and your data. I'm going to recommend a hard drive that you can copy this data onto and keep safe, keep around. This one's a camera one, so not really keeping it for that purpose, but keeping it nonetheless. Somewhere where you could back it up, have multiple sets, and if things corrupt somewhere, you have another one. It's very important for tax season and tax purposes. This year's kind of nice. I didn't take any profits last year. I've only taken my first profit this year. I had a bad day today. I lost 1,000, which is the most I've ever lost in a day in quite some time. It was weird. It was awkward. It was a misstep in my own mental fortitude, and I take full fault for it. I goofed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it, but I goofed. So, we'll get back to the norm. We still have Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. We chilling. Anyways, back to the main point of this. Get you an Excel spreadsheet, which is what I'm using, or whatever you want. Hard drive of some sort so you can copy, so you can back things up. Basically, we're gonna be stretching things out. You're gonna need a section for your months. You're gonna need a section for your bread. You're gonna need a section for take profits. I'm just using my example. My fault. I'm just gonna use my example and give you guys. You kind of make yours based on whatever it is you need. First, you need to pick the month, set the months up, and really have them dated for each section. So January, February, March, April, June, July, August. I already turned that off. I was like, why is it so it was dead in here. There was no light going on. But I guess that cooked the lighting on my face too, didn't it? Hold on. No. This one, maybe? Better? I'm just not used to it being dark down here. Okay, yeah, that's better. So, anyways, you are going to set this up, and this can be however you want it to be. I'm just strictly speaking of how I am going to do things, but you need to set them up in columns. You need a column that is going to track, one, your entries of profit. Whatever your source of bread is from, you need to be tracking it from your profits. Two, you need a place that's going to take care of every time you personally put money into the bank or put money into the business. And you need a section for every time you're personally taking money out of the business. And there's a form for that. You need to fill it out. It's like contribution and distributions, basically, of money. You need to be filling those forms out each and every time with your LLC. Then on top of it, you need to account for purchases. Purchases are a big one. you need to basically give the reasoning for most of them and justify why it is that you're buying certain things. Because if you can't justify why you're buying it, it's not a tax write-off. We'll just say if you're a clothing brand, buying your clothes is a tax write-off. It's what you use to run no. Yeah, buying the clothes is a tax write-off. Buying the equipment like Shopify and things like that to run it, that's a write-off. Running ads for your clothing business, clothing business, that's a write-off. So things like that. You really need to kind of lock with those specific things to make sure they're write-offs. Basically, that's the simple version of everything. You need to keep track of every dollar that comes into the company, every spending that goes in and out of the company. Simply for, if you're wondering where I got this information from, I paid to talk to one of my attorneys, got it all broken down from him, and this is just me spieling it to you so you don't have to pay for an attorney to learn this information unless you just want to. And then the next part of everything is the reason why tracking is so important is due to if you get audited. If you get audited from the IRS and they're looking for something, or they're looking for a reason to get you in trouble, or just anything like that. Not really looking for a reason to get you in trouble, but looking for mishaps in your business. That's what the sheet's for. It's to prove certain things happen and the reasons behind those things happening. From here, basically though, if it's not really that difficult. You just want to make a sheet that fully tracks each and every bit of thing you do in the business. I kind of didn't realize how important that, I realized it was important, but I wasn't taking it seriously until he told me, the reason why most people lose a lot of money starting off with taxes and things like that when it comes to their business isn't because they don't have a formed up LLC or a C corporation or an S corporation and this, that, the third. It's simply because even if you just have the basic LLC, disregarded entity, you do not have your stuff tracked properly for each and every spending that happens. So it becomes hard to, when tax season comes around, if you do get audited, it becomes hard to prove certain things and say you did certain things, or say that certain things you purchased were reasonable purchases that can be written off. So if you're looking for tax write-offs to be your biggest priority of everything, definitely make sure you're keeping track of your spending. Every dime in, every dime out, every contribution you make, every contribution someone else makes, just in general. The purchases you may need, subscriptions that you may need to run the business, ads you may need to run the business, any and everything. And 2, business card is not used for everyday expenses. Please do not take your business card unless you have something like a social media channel or you can make a specific reason when you are going out to do something. Please, please, please do not make a YouTube channel or do not take your business card and go pay for dinner with it. Fill out a form saying you're taking this much money out of the bank account, out of your business, and you're taking it to go eat. I can't stress to you enough how that will kick you in the butt later, because from what I understand, basically, the more things on that sheet, you want to keep it minimal, if that makes sense. You really, and you want to save for taxes. You want to keep it very, very minimal as you start to get into more and more things. And I guess number one rule, the big takeaway I think I want to kind of end this off on and lead with, or I said lead with like I haven't been talking for 10 minutes. Biggest thing I want to end off on, focus on making money. I cannot stress to you like the taxes. I think I'm the only one that has done this backwards actually. But I'm going to say it just in case there's someone out there like me who's really listened to all the gurus and everybody out there. Focus on making money first. Make sure you have the knowledge for your LLCs and C corporations and things like that that you're going to need to set up later on. C corporations, S corporations, disregarded entities, all of that. Sole proprietorships, things like that. Make sure you have everything set up so you know what you're getting into. But I'm going to be honest, above all else, at the top, one in one equivalent, you need to focus on making more money. Whatever it is you're doing, just focus on scaling. Don't be worried about trying to make 1,000 different LLCs for any other different reasons. If you have one that's just open and sitting there, it's not really doing anything for you. It's not bad, but it might cause you like paperwork later because it might email it to you, and you gotta get that taken care of in some form or fashion. But like, don't worry about those kind of things as much until you're making a substantial amount of money, until you're making money that needs to be protected. In a sense, when you get to investments and stuff like that, like I'm gonna say 300,000. That's my range where I'm gonna basically re-up back with the SC corporations and taking a look at everything. Once I make it to my 300,000, that's where I will go back to taking a look at rebuilding and restructuring some of my business and whatnot like that. But and that's just me personally talking. But honestly speaking, it's just, I guess, and then 300,000 doesn't have to be the exact number. Don't take it as an exact science number. I'm just saying that because at 30,000, you have $10,000. If you're making $300,000 a month or a year, a year, that means you have $10,000 for living expenses, car expenses, they're mandatory expenses. You have $10,000 extra in investments and whatever extra you want, and then you have another 30,000 you can save or split for bullshit purchases. Like, I don't know, you want to go buy yourself a sweatshirt, you want to buy yourself Louis, you want to go buy yourself designer, you want to go out to eat a lot, you want to go take a trip. Like, you have money, you actually have money to work with. But until then, it's really about the compounding and the grinding aspect of all of it. So I just want to get on here, make that video for you guys real quick, kind of lay down the information I had in my brain and what I got from my attorney when I spoke with them. And yeah, that was basically the point of this video. Just trying to be informational, trying to give out free information, and things I wish I knew, things I wish people talked about to me. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm working on kind of like doing lifestyle content, but I cannot foresee myself doing it yet with this camera just because it's so, what's the word? I'm okay with being cringe because that's where I got to where I'm at now, is by being cringe to a certain extent. But the camera's like tacky. Like, recording is a little bit, it takes more effort recording with this. So I might get, either I'm going to buy another iPhone for it, honestly. It'd be for trading and for recording, so it'd be 2-piece. Or I'm gonna get the little stick where I can flip it, buy it, turn it, write it, whatever, do all that myself. So I don't know, we'll see. That's a future thought. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Go focus on getting my business and my work done. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and follow to see for more. Peace out, y'all.